Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Naveen, and in today's video, well, what should I tell you about today's video? Today's video, I've been thinking about it for days, and I wanted to come up with this super amazing concept. Um, my last two brain cells were fighting, thinking, like literally fist fighting, thinking about what I could come up with, and both of them lost because I came up with the most basic, boring as idea ever. I came up with One Piece reading vlog part two because I only have today to film this video, and reading One Piece, it's fun, it's quick, it's easy. I love being in this world. I love talking about it. So yeah, that's what I came up with. I know. I know. I'm sorry. I just I just but apart from that, we have some journaling we're gonna do as well. So I have my Hobonichi cousin in here with me, and this is my everything planner. Well, not everything. Yeah, kind of everything. How should I say this? I use the monthly section for future planning. I use the weekly section for memory keeping. And then the daily section is just like what I did during that day or what happened during that day, if that makes sense. And then I have my Sterling Income Planner. This is the A5 Vertical Compact, and this is my content planner. Yeah, it's been a while since I've been in here, so I have to get back into here. I got the compact because I don't necessarily need a page for every single day, since it's a content calendar. Not a content calendar, since a content planner. I don't necessarily I don't really need a page for every single day. So yeah, I have a page with ideas, and let me see. I have a page with the video ideas that I had, and I quite literally have three. I had three ideas. That should tell you all about that. Yeah, and one of them is a little life reading blog, which I'm scared to do. I'm really scared to do that. But let me know if you're interested in it. So, I'm gonna start rambling and I'm gonna tell you guys what we're gonna be reading in today's video. So, we're gonna be reading volume 7, 8, and 9 of One Piece. And in volume 7 and 8, we have the fight with. What was his name again? We have the fight with Don Creek. And in chapter 9, I'm pretty sure. Not chapter 9. And in volume 9, one of my favorite arcs from the book, from the series starts. And it's Arlong Park. And I feel like this is really cliche to say, but Arlong Park for me is what solidified solidified. So that solidified my love for One Piece. But yeah, I'm gonna stop talking because I've been talking for 6 minutes now. And this is a long intro. You don't want to or need to keep hearing me talk. I've quite literally done enough of that. So I'm gonna start reading volume 7, and I'll let you guys know what I think about it. Okay, a little update. I'm on chapter 56, and we've had our first real fight. It was between Sanji and this guy named Pearl. Maybe first real fight isn't the right words for it, but we're having our first fight because we know Luffy's gonna fight Don Creek, but we haven't reached there yet. So we have Sanji. I'm gonna hold this up just so you guys can see something and hold it. I don't know. So we have Sanji. How many times can I say Sanji fighting this guy named Pearl? So this guy named Pearl, he's supposed to be super super strong. He has all this armor around his body, and he's supposed to be made out of diamond, I think, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that, something super strong. And Sanji kind of defeats him with 2 kicks. I don't think it was more than 2 kicks. With the first one, he makes Pearl bleed. That sends him into a frenzy, and he quite literally loses his mind over the fact that he's bleeding. And the second one is just kind of the final blow, because a mast that comes out of nowhere is what ends up taking him out. So I don't know how strong he really was. But yeah, our first enemy is done, and this is the first time we're seeing how powerful Sanji actually is. Because he just defeated this guy with 2 kicks, you know? And he's like, which was iconic, if you ask me. He's like, where have you seen a cook afraid of fire? I don't know if that's the translated, like, I don't know if that's what he says in the translated version. I'm just translating it from Spanish because I'm reading it in Spanish. So I'm just like translating it in the moment. But yeah, he's like, when have you seen a cook afraid of fire? And yeah, just yes. Okay, so remember when I told you Sanji defeated this guy named Pearl? Well, he turns out he didn't, and now Pearl is back with a vengeance. I'm suffering through what is going on because this guy I cannot stand, who I cannot remember his name right now, is how do you say amenazando in English? He has a gun, and he has it pointed towards Zev, which is Sanji's mentor and the owner of the boat where Sanji is working right now. And Sanji is like, Luffy's gonna beat Pearl up because he's like, in Luffy's head, Sanji's already part of the crew, and he's like, if you beat one of my crew members, I'm gonna beat you. But Sanji's like, no, don't do it, because if you do it, then this guy, he's gonna kill Seth, and I don't want that to happen. So we're kind of in a pickle right now. So I'm reading through Sanji's and Zev's backstory, and I remember. Okay, so what we know about Zev, we know he. I'm gonna say it. Okay, I'm gonna say it. We know he lost a leg, but we don't know how he lost his leg. Okay, there it is. So while telling us their backstory, in the manga, they portrayed it as Seth lost his leg because he was saving Sanji from dying, which was heartbreaking in itself because he gave up his leg to save up a child he doesn't know. But in the wait, I said the manga. I meant the anime. That's what happens in the anime. Now in the manga, which is what I'm reading, they're stranded in this island and they have no food. He had like two sacks that were supposedly filled with food, and one was bigger than the other. He gave the small one to Sanji and he kept the bigger one for himself. And after 70 days, when Sanji is out of food, he goes to Zev's sack and he tries to like steal his food. But then he realizes that in that sack there's no food, it's only treasure. And then he sees he has Zev's. And then he sees Zev has a missing leg. So Zev ate his leg in order to survive and gave the food to Sanji instead of like portioning it. Portion? Is that the word I'm looking for? Instead of sharing the food with Sanji, he just gave all the food to Sanji and he ate his leg. And if the anime was heartbreaking, the manga, what do you mean he ate his leg? Just so Sanji could have some food. Now you kind of understand why Sanji is so protective of him, why Sanji refuses to leave his side, and he's like, no, I'm not gonna be a part of your crew to Luffy, because my loyalty is with him. Now, everything makes sense. Okay, so I finished volume 7, and I don't have much more to add other than Don Krieg is annoying, and I hate him. I want Luffy to beat his ass so bad. And Luffy, he's just Luffy. He continues being Luffy. But he says something that I was like, you're right. Damn right, you're right. So Sanji was trying to sacrifice himself just to save Zev, and Luffy's like, look, sacrificing yourself as a form of a thank you to Zev, it's not worth it, because he did not give up what he gave up for you to survive, just for you to turn around and be like, well, I'm gonna sacrifice myself, So, yeah, I feel like it's one of those random, not so often wise Luffy moments, because he's not, let's be honest, he's not the wisest main character out there, but he's one of the best ones. So I'm gonna start volume 8, and I think I'm gonna change where I'm sitting. I'm gonna go over to a more comfortable place to read, and I'll update you guys. Okay, so I just finished volume 8, and majority of this volume was Luffy fighting Don Krieg, which he eventually defeats. I don't think anyone is surprised by that. Then we have all the cooks and Seth plotting and scheming so that Sanji could join the Straw Hats. And he eventually does. He joins the crew. So we now have in the crew 5 members, I think. Luffy, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, and Sanji. Yeah, 5. And then we leave those 2 and we go with Zoro, Usopp, and Nami, because I don't know if I told this or not, but like Nami stole the ship, the Going Merry, so they're going. Zoro and Usopp were going after her to get it back and be like, "Hey, what the fuck? What are you doing?" So they reach there, and there is Arlon Park, which is a town with fishmen. Fishmen. Yeah, I think it's called fishmen. They're half fish, half men. So fishmen. Turns out, Nami is part of the crew. So it's like, well, Nami, my friend, when we thought you couldn't surprise us anymore, here this comes. So they capture Zoro. I don't quite remember the specifics of that, but why am I talking like I read this 8 years ago? I just read it. That's how bad my memory is, you guys. But yeah, so we have what do we have? They capture Zoro, okay? And Zoro is not believing that Nami is just this heartless, super cruel person that was just playing games with them. So, in order to prove that, he throws himself in the water while he is tied up. And Nami just dives right in to save him. She later uses an excuse as to why she saves him, but that's when you know, like, yeah, she's part of this crew. She has a tattoo that confirms she's part of the crew, but not everything is black and white. You know, there's a gray area there that we have to explore, and we're going to explore in volume 9. So my camera is getting out of battery, so I'm gonna charge it while I read volume 9, and I'll give you guys my last update. I just finished reading volume number 9. And how can I say this? A lot goes on, but not enough goes on at the same time. So, um, the last update I gave you guys was Nami saving Zoro. So then Usopp gets captured and she kind of saves him. Not kind of, she saves him again. She pretends to stab him and throw him in the water, while in reality she's just stabbing her hand. And while in reality she just stabbed her hand and threw him in the water so that he could escape Arlong and his crew. Then we get Nami's backstory and why she's part of the Arlong pirates, and her backstory is the most heartbreaking one of them all. At least of all of the ones we've seen so far, her backstory is the most heartbreaking one. I don't know if I should go into it or not. But basically she lost everything, and she just had to join the crew to save whatever she had left. Not the crew, she had to join Arlong's crew to save whatever she had left to save. And so she makes a pact with Arlong that is, as long as she gets 100 million berries, then Arlong is gonna free the town where Nami lives. And right when she's about to get those 100 million berries and free her town and free her family, Arlong comes up with a ploy to make her lose everything. And the despair that she feels, you feel it with her. It's honestly, I hate Arlong so much. I hate him. I cannot stand that man. So yeah, Nami is no longer free of Arlong. And she decides that she is going to ask Luffy for help. And of course Luffy says yes. But it's not the fact that he says yes and he's going to help her, it's the way he says yes. It's the no hesitations, just being like, you're my friend, so therefore your enemy is my enemy. And if I can help you fight your fights, I'm gonna help you because you're my friend, and that's what matters. I just love Luffy so much. Like, what else could you ask for from a main character? He's perfect. He is literally perfect. He's not. He's not. But he is. I don't know. So that's all from me for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys on my next one.